I am Autumn Martinez, and I used to think my code could change the world. 12 years ago, I walked into Pinnacle Tech glossy Silicon Valley office with a cheap laptop and a dream, believing I was building something bigger than myself. I'd grown up in a small Ohio town, teaching myself to code on a library computer because my parents could not. My story offered one. Every line I wrote felt like a brick in a cathedral. Pinnacle's cloud platform, a system that promised to make data flow like water. I gave them everything. Late nights, missed birthdays, my health. And then one Thursday afternoon, an email tore it all down. Your services are no longer required. That is all it said. No name, no sorry, just a single line on a blank screen. Like my 12 years were a typo they could backspace. I sat in my Oakland apartment, staring at my chipped coffee mug filled with stale Cheerios, the kind you eat at 3 p.m. when you have not showered in days. My sweatpants smelled like despair, and my laptop, a battered Dell with sticky spacebar, was open to a job board. Seeking rockstar developer for dynamic team, the listing screamed translation. They wanted a 20-some how would work for equity and a ping-pong table. I clicked one Kubernetes expertise, 5 years experience, startup vibes. I slammed the laptop shut. My phone buzz. Probably another recruiter with a quick follow-up. I ignored it. Then a headline caught my eye on a news site. I was doomed crawling. $600 and Pinnacle Tech merger collapses over IP dispute. My stomach lurched. Pinnacle, the company that discarded me like a used napkin, was supposed to be toasting a $500 million deal with Apex Innovations. Now it was crumbling, and the words core IP rights glowed like a warning sign. I did not know. Why? But my gut screamed. This was not a coincidence. I had built their system. Every line, every bug fix, every 2 a.m. commit, something was wrong, and it was calling my name. The next morning, I woke to a certified letter shoved under my apartment door, the kind that screams trouble before you even open it. Their turn address read, Ramirez and Cole LLP, Corporate Litigation, San Francisco. My hands shook as I tore it open, expecting a bill or worse. Instead, it was a bomb. Dear Ms. Martinez, it began all formal and cold. We represent Apex Innovations. Regarding the acquisition of Pinnacle Tech, request a meeting to discuss patent US 9876-54321, listing you as the sole inventor. I read it 4 times, my heart pounding like a server crash alert. Me, a patent. I did not even know what it was for. I scrambled to my laptop, punching the patent number into the USBTO site. The page loaded slowly, my cheap Wi-Fi mocking me. There it was. Dynamic Cloud Load Optimization Framework. My name R. Martinez as the primary inventor. No Pinnacle, no team, just me. 5 years ago, I had signed some forms at Dan Russo's insistence. My old mentor, who had been shoved out of Pinnacle like yesterday's trash, he had called it insurance. His eyes sharp with that professor's glint, he never lost. You do not wait for the house to burn to buy a fire extinguisher, he had said. I thought he was paranoid. Now I wondered if he had seen the future. My mind raced back to those days. Dan limping into my cubicle, his ID badge clipped to his shoe because badges are for sheep. He dropped a folder on my desk, insisting I file the patent myself outside company channels. I had laughed, thinking it was pointless. I was just a mid-level coder, not some tech mogul. But Dan knew my patent something I did not. He had seen the vultures circling, the ones who would later fire him, then me. Now that patent was the only thing standing between Pinnacle's failed merger and a truth I was just starting to grasp. I was not just fired. I was dangerous. I could not stop pacing my tiny apartment, the hardwood creaking under my bare feet. My cat Muffin batted the lawyer's envelope like it was a toy. But my mind was stuck 5 years back, replaying a moment I had buried under deadlines and denial. Dan Russo, my mentor, had always been a little unhinged brilliant, but the kind of guy who would lecture you about corporate greed while microwaving leftover pizza. He had been Pinnacle CTO before Mason Caldwell took over back when the company still felt like a team. Then they restructured him out, and I watched him pack his desk, muttering about sharks and suits. That day he had stormed into my cubicle, a manila, folder in hand, his limp more pronounced fromstress. "You are filing this," he said, slamming it down. "Patent for your load balancer code. Your name, not theirs." I had blinked, confused. "Dan, that is the IP team's job. I sent the specs to compliance already." His stare could have melted steel. "They will bury it under team credit. Ada, you built this system. They will take it, wear it like a trophy and leave you with nothing." I fidgeted, unsure. "Legal will not allow a solo filing." He leaned in, voice low. "File it yourself. Your name. Your address. They will not notice until it is too late." I did it because I trusted Dan, because he believed in me when I was just a kid from Ohio with no degree. But I forgot about it, drowned in years of bug fixes and Mason's empty promises. Now, staring at the patent on my screen, I felt a kill. Dan had not just protected my work. He had handed me a weapon. Pinnacle had fired me to clear the deck for their merger. But they did not know I held the key to their empire. My phone sat silent, but I knew what I had to do. I needed Dan. My phone lit up at 7:00 a.m., a San Francisco number I did not recognize. I let it ring, my heart thudding. I knew that area code, Pinnacle's HQ, where Mason Caldwell ruled like aching with a corner office. When the voicemail pinged, I braced myself. "Ah, it is Mason!" His voice oozed like he wassailing me a used car. "Hate how things ended. Truly. Let us talk. Water under the bridge, right?" He rambled about a clerical error with an old patent. My patent calling it that cloud balancer, thing you helped with helped. I wrote every line while he was golfing with investors. I did not call back. Instead, I texted Dan's old number, the one he'd sent in his final email to the team, ignored by everyone but me. "Dan, it is that patent you made me file. It is blowing up. Call me." He called at 2 a.m., waking me from a fitful sleep on my couch. "Took them long enough," he growled, his voice like gravel over whiskey. "They fired you before the merger, did they not?" I nodded, though he could not see 2 weeks before. "No reason? Just gone." He laughed, cold and sharp. "Classic. They thought they could erase you. That patent is the spine of their system. Ma, they built everything on it." He gave me a name, Lydia Alvarez, an IP lawyer who chews up CEOs for breakfast. I called her at dawn, my voice shaky. "I am Martinez. I own Appetent, and Pinnacle is trying to buy it back." Lydia's laugh was like a blade. "Oh, honey, you have got their necks in Avis. Send me the letter." By noon, another envelope arrived from Pinnacle's HR. A thinly veiled thread about proprietary materials. On my old laptop, Lydia scoffed when I forwarded it. "They're bluffing. Let us make them sweat." For the first time in weeks, I felt aspark, not hope, but power. Lydia was a force of nature, her voice sharp over the phone as she laid out our plan. "Pinnacle is desperate. They are trying to scare you into signing over the patent. Do not bite." She had already reached out to Apex Innovations, the company Pinnacle was supposed to merge with. "They want to talk directly to you. No middleman." My head spun. Apex did not care about Pinnacle anymore. They wanted my patent, the one I did not even know I had until yesterday. I was no longer the fired caterer eating cereal in sweatpants. I was the key. I called Dan again, needing his clarity. "What do I do? Dan, they are offering severance, apologies, even a job." His voice was steel. "You do not negotiate with Snake Seda. You strike. They threw you out after you built their empire. Now you own the foundation." He was right. I had spent years coding through exhaustion, through my mom's illness, through Mason's fake smiles. They did not deserve my mercy. Lydia set up a meeting with Apex for the next week, warning me to stay silent until then. "Let Pinnacle panic," she said. They will make mistakes. Then came the call from Priya, a former teammate who had shared my late-night coding sessions. Her voice trembled. Ada Mason asked me to reach out. They just want to resolve things quietly. I closed my eyes, hating that they had used her. Tell Mason to talk to my lawyer, I said, my voice steady. And Priya, do not let them use you like the conference room they used me. I hung up, my hands shaking, not with fear, but with a thrill of fighting back. Apex's legal team texted Lydia that night. They wanted a direct licensing deal. Pinnacle was out of the picture. I was the one in control. The conference room at Apex's San Francisco office was all glass and steel, the kind of place where dreams and deals go to die. I sat across from Mason Caldwell, his tailored suit clashing with the sweat on his brow. Lydia sat beside me, her blazer sharper than any blade. Mason's lawyers, two men with faces like overpriced invoices, flanked him. He tried his smile, the one that got him TED Talks and boardroom applause. Great to see you. Let us sort this mess out. No drama. I said nothing, letting him squirm. He rambled about my early days at Pinnacle, how I was always so dedicated. I'd coded their system while my mom was dying, while Mason was picking out his third Tesla. We made mistakes, head-mitted, sliding, a contract across Thetable, a bonus, a consultant role, and we will credit you in the press. Let us fix this patent mix-up. Lydia raised an eyebrow. Mix-up? You mean the patent owns outright? I leaned forward, my voice calm, but lethal. I built your platform, Mason. Every line, every fix. While you were toasting investors, you fired me with an email. No name, no reason. Now your merger is dead because you did not know what you had. I slid my own paper forward, a notice of exclusive talks with Apex. They are licensing the patent from me. You are not in the deal. Mason's face went white, his lawyers frozen. Otter, wait. I stood Lydia beside me. Good luck with your board. I hear they are not happy. We walked out, leaving silence thicker than fog. I did not need his apologies. I had his ruin. My new office at Apex Innovations overlooks the San Francisco Bay. The water sparkling like it is mocking my old life. The nameplate on my door reads Otter Martinez, Chief IP Strategist. No associate, no junior, just me. 3 days ago, Apex closed the deal. They bought my patent outright and offered me a role with a salary that made my eyes water. The signing bonus alone paid off my student loans and my mom's old medical bills. I am not clipping coupons anymore. Pinnacle, meanwhile, is imploding. Tech headlines scream about their failed merger, shareholder lawsuits, and Mason's uncertain future. I got a voicemail from him, 48 seconds of graveling. I did not bother to play. I forwarded it to Danwith, a note. We won. He sent back a gift of a wolf howling under a full moon. It laughed, then deleted the message. Mason's words did not matter. His world was burning, and I was the spark. He stood at my office window, coffee in hand. Not the instant kind, but beans from a local roaster with a story. I did not feel like a conqueror. Not yet. I felt free. Free from the grind, the betrayal, the nights I cried over code. I was done being the quiet coder who fixed their messes. Now I would build something new, smarter, stronger. Mine Pinnacle could choke on their stock options. I had a future, and it was brighter than their golden parachutes. I walk into my office every morning now, and it still feels like a dream. The view of the Bay Bridge, the hum of ass pace that is mine. It is not just a job. It is a life I did not dare imagine back when I was eating Cheerios from Amug. I think about my old cubicle at Pinnacle, the fluorescent lights that buzz like my anxiety, the way Mason's voice would carry over the walls promising the moon while stealing our stars. That AA, the one who coded through tears and doubted her worth. She is still in me, but she is not running the show anymore. I found a photo the other day tucked in a drawer, a team picture from my first year at Pinnacle. I am in the back, barely visible, smiling like I believed in the mission. Dan is there too, his ID badge on his shoe, smirking like he knew the game was rigged. I owe him more than I can say. He saw the vultures before I did. Handed me a shield when I did not know I would need one. Now I am building something new at Apex. Not just code, but a vision. One where people like me are notarized. It is slow work. Deliberate, like writing clean code after years of patching leaks. Pinnacle's gone quiet now. Their name fading from headlines as lawsuits pile up. Mason is probably out there pitching his next big idea to anyone who will listen. I do not care. I'm not angry anymore. I am done. I have got my coffee, my cat, and a future I built from the ruins they left me. That is enough. To everyone who has followed this story, thank you. You have walked with me through betrayal, fights, and a hard-won morning. If my struggle connected with you, hit that subscribe button and join us. We are telling stories of strength, payback, and new starts where every line of code, every choice builds something strong. Keep fighting your own fights, and I will see you at the